1. Nintendo was founded in 1889 as a playing card manufacturer. The company's original name was Nintendo Koppai, which roughly translates to Nintendo Playing Card Company. However, Nintendo eventually diversified into other areas, such as toys and games. 2. Nintendo's first foray into the world of video games was in 1974 with the release of the EVR Race, an electromechanical game that used a 16mm film to project pre-recorded race footage. The game did not gain much popularity and Nintendo decided not to go further with this technology. 3. In the early 1980s, Nintendo released a number of arcade games that were not initially successful. One of them was a game called Sheriff, which featured a gun-shaped controller, but it was not as popular as Nintendo had hoped it would be. 4. In 1983, Nintendo released the Famicom, short for Family Computer, in Japan. The Famicom was the Japanese version of the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, that was later released in North America. The Famicom became an instant hit in Japan, selling over 500,000 units in its first month. 5. In 1986, Nintendo introduced the world to The Legend of Zelda. The game was not an instant hit, but eventually gained massive popularity. The game featured an open-world design and a non-linear approach to gameplay, which was a first of its kind. Over the years, the Zelda franchise has become one of Nintendo's most iconic and best-selling series. 6. In 1989, Nintendo released the Game Boy, which featured a monochrome screen and interchangeable cartridges. The device was a hit and went on to sell over 120 million units worldwide. It helped to establish Nintendo as a dominant player in the portable gaming market. The Game Boy started a new generation of mobile gaming with its portability. 7. In 1996, Nintendo released the Nintendo 64, which was the first console to feature fully three-dimensional graphics. The Nintendo 64 was released with a new controller which had a unique three-pronged design. 8. In 2000, Nintendo released the Game Boy Advance, which featured a color screen and was compatible with all previous Game Boy games. It sold over 81 million units worldwide. 9. In 2004, Nintendo released the DS, short for Dual Screen, which featured two screens, one of which was a touchscreen. The DS went on to become the best-selling handheld console of all time, selling over 154 million units worldwide. 10. In 2006, Nintendo released the Wii, which featured a motion-sensing controller. The console was a hit with both casual and hardcore gamers, and sold over 101 million units worldwide. The Wii's motion-sensing controllers were a major selling point and helped to attract a wider audience to gaming, including people who had never played games before.